Howdy, howdy, howdy. Welcome to JJ's Chess Spots and Palace. How you doing, everybody? Hope you're having a good night. Had appointments today, so I had to change my Twitch to go to my multi-stream chess channel, and then I have the Wizardry channel on YouTube, so I have both. So I have to switch them back and forth. Had to do that before I logged in today. Just realized it, so I got that done. Multi-streaming tonight, and it is chess challenges and puzzles. So hopefully we'll have some fun. Hopefully get some challenges as well. Put the schedule up for chess. YouTube channel for chess. And the Discord. Discord's new, so we need people. 33 people so far. Appreciate it. Another streamer as well. I really appreciate him coming in. And shout out to House_of_pancakes. House of Pancakes, if you haven't seen his content. And dude's a straight shooter. Dude's a good guy. And raided me last night. I really appreciate that. And he keeps doing it. Very much appreciated. And got some great content with House of Pancakes. If you haven't watched him on Twitch, you should. And thanks to him, I very much appreciate that last night. So we've got our schedule up and our Discord. We're ready to rock. Let's see, what do I got here? I think I already did that, actually. Yeah, I already did that. That doesn't exist. Let's Community Streamer Club now. I think that's really cool. And Last Queen, man, she has some great blogs. Very good blogs. If you haven't seen The Last Queen, you should. From Chile. Yeah, some pretty quality content. So I'll read her blog later today. Thank you for coming in tonight. We are multi-streaming. And the Twitch TOS, primarily streaming on Twitch tonight. Do want to update everybody. I have been, since I've been multi-streaming, every once in a while getting knocked off of one or both platforms. Usually it's Twitch. It'll restart. I'll be watching the chat, won't see it. All of a sudden, all my viewers go to zero, and the Twitch stream stops. If that does happen, and you get notification that the stream's ended, even when I'm in mid-sentence or whatever, come on back. It will start again. And hopefully, I've been tweaking some different settings and trying to get that so it's more stable. And on the YouTube channel for the multi-stream, it played in its entirety last night. But for some reason, it went off twice last night in chess. Did have a appointment today with an eye exam. I really needed it bad. It's been putting it off for about 6 months. Got that handled. Should have glasses in about 14, 15 days. And my new glasses are pretty cool, I think. And the eye exam, we talked about the fact that I had an eye operation back in 1965, separated both eyes. You know, I'm like, man, unless you're an optometrist, you don't realize. And she goes, oh, I know. And she goes, you can switch eyes. There's some bonuses out of it. Good memory, solid memory, even better than normal memory. and totally switch eyes for what you're doing. And I was noticing, especially not as much when I was doing the wizardry at 11 o'clock during the mornings, and I had that appointment, so I wasn't able to do wizardry today. But during chess, all of a sudden it'll blur and it'll overlap each other a little bit. So I was really having that problem in the last couple of weeks while I was trying to play challenges. Probably still will have that problem for a couple more weeks until I get the new glasses, but I'll be able to wear my glasses while I'm on stream, and that'll help a lot with a lot of things. Can see close up, can't see far away, but with my right eye, everything's just totally blurry, can't read anything. I can see the board, pieces are all blurry, and between when they did separate the muscles, when it relaxed, and when the operation was pretty much a success. As I got older, it's worn down a little bit, but even when I was playing hockey, it was great, man. Nobody could tell what I was looking at. And if they were watching my left eye, better watch the right, because there's a pass coming. Had 57 assists. 44 to 50 years old playing hockey, so that was a lot of fun. 6 goals, wasn't a big goal scorer, but I had a few assists and had some amazing passes. And that's because the eyes are separate, so I can switch at will. And she was, we were talking about it, and she says, you got to be aware of this and this and this. And so they're giving me prism, a little bit of prism in there so that it'll overlap a little bit more. And that'll help me not only in chess, and right now the driving's not bad, it's just that my eyes have getting a lot of glare at night. So hopefully that'll go away and get back to normal. So I was really fortunate to get that eye exam today. And I apologize for not being on during wizardry. So we're going to start with puzzles. If you want to challenge, you can challenge me on Twitch. Let me know. It's free to follow on Twitch. And I appreciate everybody that subscribes and follows. And very thankful for all of you. So we're going to go to the puzzles now. I had a pretty good run last night. I made the 2400 badge in puzzles, which is pretty cool. I asked puzzle average and was 2408, and right now I am 2392. So hopefully I get a good start tonight and we'll see what happens. I blundered. You can win material from me. Let's see here. Takes me a little bit longer to see the board, and I'm going to be really happy with that when I get the new glasses here in a couple weeks. I think we move here. Nope, we don't. Man, bad start. Bad start again. And this is my other option, rook takes bishop, but I thought that was probably the way to start it. And then check here. Yeah. Oh, not check there. Oh, well, that really sucks. Boy, I'm reaching today, starting off poorly. I think obviously this and then the queen. Yeah, didn't start off very good on that one. Damn. Okay, white to move. White to move. White to move. Obviously, it's the rook check first at A8. Bishop protects, and then black bishop, of course, you don't want to go to D6. Rook will take it, so you go to H6. He checks. Black bishop's pinned, and that's the end of the checks. Gonna throw the black bishop on C8, and it is over. So hopefully we get a run like we did last night. My queen is vulnerable. Do you see a way to win it? First thing you look for is checks, sacrifice. And since the white queen is on H5, obviously it's the rook checking and the queen taking the queen. And so check. Queen takes queen. There is a check. That is pretty sweet. Question is, do you want to move up on that? That would be the question. Or do you want to put the rook in the way? I think just move up. Rook will come down and check. And then you just take the pawn and prevent the threat. Find a way to end the game with a checkmate. I hope you're all enjoying it. We got an ad break currently, so I don't know if you can hear me or not. Thanks for coming in tonight and watching. Find a way to end the game with a checkmate. White to move. And obviously H7 square, but the knight's covering that. Black knight on F6. So you're going to go short. And you're going to check here, and there's no way to go, no way to block for the king. And thank you, Marvin. How you doing? Thanks for coming in today and talking with me. I appreciate it, man. That was nice to see you, man. That hamburger rock. Thank you for the wrap. I can't eat bread, so he makes the best sandwiches in town. Best hamburgers, best sandwiches. Hoover's at South Beach in the Central Oregon coast. Nice talking to you today. It was nice to see James. It's nice to see everybody. Had some great conversations today on the back deck. It's nice to get out finally with my hip starting to heal up. And he pushed to Crystal, I believe, Crystal 5 today. Just pushing me, huh? He made the 2000 badge today. It wasn't like 1600. Yeah, it was great weather today. It was nice and warm. I was probably wearing too warm of a coat. It's been pretty cold up until this point. Now we're getting the weather in. And it was a beautiful blue sky day here on the Central Oregon coast. Oh, he's trying to catch me. 2100, boy. Now you got to get your ratings up. Got to take those lessons, man. I really, really think those chess.com lessons. And I might even do some lessons in the next week or so on Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday. The arenas I run, and they're a little different because I do the play-by-play sports commentary for you guys, so you guys enjoy it. And those start at 7 o'clock on Tuesday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Friday Night Blitz coming up tomorrow at 7 o'clock. 6:30 I'll log in, have the pin post for that arena. It should be a lot of fun. So 2100, congrats, Marv. That is awesome. Can he find a way to win my bishop? Well, let's see here. Gonna have to look at it. And this puzzle, especially with my eyes right now, and I did get my exam today, and she noticed why I was having that problem. So, looking at the whole board, this is going opposite. Bishop's on one side of the board, on the king's side at g5, the white bishop. Need to take that, but who can actually lend a check right now? And that is the queen on d8 going to a5 with a check and then sweeps the bishop. Even if the queen comes out, you get a free bishop right off the bat. I'm going to turn up the volume a little bit so you can hear the clicks and stuff. 2,100, that is sweet. 2,400 as of last night. We'll see how I end today. Can I make a big run, go to 2,500? Man, that'd be amazing. But I got the 2,400 badge last night when I logged off. Can you find a way to win a rook? Can you find a way to win the rook? This is a little bit harder. We'll see. Can you find a way to win the rook? Huh. Alrighty, a little bit threefold. Okay, queen's attacking, the black queen's attacking the white queen on f4. So by taking the queen off the board, the bishop has to take, opens up the rook file on the C file, and taking the bishop, checking the king on C8. King has to move up, and the rook is free. So you get 9 points out of that. 5, well, 8 points. 3, since I've been playing classical chess, 3.5 for a bishop, but 5 for the rook. So that was a good trade-off right there. And in the scheme of things, you're a rook up. Coming from behind. Okay, win material to win the puzzle. This is always a little bit tentative. Win the material to win the puzzle. Is there any mates coming in? Any attacks on the king? There is an attack on the king. And do I want to move inside, though, on the check? So the question would be is, do I move in the corner? Or move outside? I think you move into the corner out of this. You might lose the rook on the next move. It's my friend's daughter. So G1 to H1, this could be the wrong move. I was kind of thinking going out here, but it's a little iffy. behind in the game as well with pieces on the board. So let's move here. Okay. And we got to prevent this. Now, the rook is up, but this is going to force a mate coming, so the queen's going to have to sacrifice. So taking this pawn on f6, and I didn't do it. Oh boy, I missed that one. I thought that was the better move because it blocks this. Oh, it's quicker this way. All right, check. There's the sack. Yeah. Still think it was decent, but I made the wrong move. So, struggling a little bit in this first set. I was doing really good last night. I think I was like 77 or 80 and only missed 5. You have a dangerous pawn idea here. Dangerous pawn and white to move. Well, the obvious is play defense first and not let this king get to h2, so you're going to have to block that. So the first move is there, and it's a race, and I don't think he can catch. It's outside the 4-square box. This is the most important moment of the game. Find a way to checkmate me. Okay, there's a mate coming. So looking at the pieces, is there any piece that can get through? And the queen, white queen's got the diagonal, even though it's being attacked by the rook. And that diagonal leads to h8. Now the beauty is the rook is on a7 all by its lonesome, so it's covering the outside of that 7 rank, and the queen, by going to h8, will cover the inside, and the king has nowhere to go, no blockers. Watching the whole board is, definitely, and especially with my eye thing, now that I'm getting that handled. My hip was the first priority, and now the eyes. Watching the whole board and seeing the full spectrum of all the pieces is pretty important. Great position to attack my king. You're in a good position to attack my king. Everybody kind of knows this probably. From the scholar's mate position, this is not a scholar's mate, but it's pretty close. Question is, what do you do with it after? So white to move. I think you lead with the bishop on this. And the reason being, could lead with the queen first, though. And bringing it back. Yeah, I think it's the queen. I thought it was the bishop, but it's not. So I talked myself out of that. Pawn on f7 is obvious where we're going. And then moving a step back, black's going to block with the bishop, and then you take the rook. Oops, that's a blunder by me. Can you find out how to win material? Always a tough one here. And so looking at the position, no checks on myself. The knight, tough position, but the this is also is a one move mate. We got power with the H file with queen and the rook. And of course, white queen is covering the H2 square, but not the H1 square. So now, what do we do? Interesting thing about this one. He's going to tuck because he can't move to the F3 or the E3 position. And the question is, with the check, am I going to be able to win material here? That's the question. Luckily, I've got two rooks on the back row, so I believe it is H8 to H2 for the check. King moves, and now the check coming from your rook on D8. Gonna block it. Nice move here with the rook takes the bishop, attacking the queen. And you end up winning material, even though you're going to lose your queen also, but the rook will check the king, taking the rook on A1. Multifaceted here. And rook takes rook. My queen's vulnerable. Do you see a way to win it? Not very many people in tonight. Hopefully they come in for challenges. My queen is vulnerable. Do you see a way to win it? White to move. My queen is vulnerable. Do you see a way to win it? Well, you kind of see it right off the bat. But do you want to do that? So the first move is to save the rook. And that is with the check. Then take the queen. Ooh, I did not. Oh. Moving too fast. Moving too fast. And pushing that pawn. Damn. Damn. Missed it, didn't think about it. That's the problem. Excuse me. That went down the wrong way. Oh, choking downstream, that's a good thing. Boy, that woke me up. Boy, I missed that one. That was too bad. Having some misses today. Can you get to a point where I cannot stop you from promoting a pawn? The white king is in position G3. Doesn't have to worry about the E pawn from the black position because he can just come up side by side and take it. And you've got a free promotion here right down the D file. So we're going to go here. We're going to stop it here. We'll go here. And No stopping that queen. Plus, you're in position to get back on this pawn. Step up with the king so the pawns are in a diagonal. Step up, block it, or even block it with a queen. Won't be able to move past that and then pick off the pawns with the king and the queen. I'll be in trouble if you capture my rook. Okay, let's see. What do we want to do here? Got to look at all the positions, capturing the rook. Well, we're going to force the check and force the king to the h7 square. The problem is I don't have a white bishop, so... But forcing that king to the h7 square, now the rook's in jeopardy because all you have to do is check and take the rook. So we'll check and then move back. There's the block for the king, but the rook is wide open. Win this game with a checkmate. Okay. Is there a mate available? Looks like there might be. Bishops are attacking that rook on g8, but they're out of play. And king's on the black square. My other white bishop is on a white square, but that knight is open, and that knight cannot be blocked with the check right here. Also could take the check the other way, I think. Nope. Has to go this way, because if the check comes the other way, let me look at that again. I think there's two positions on this. Could go here too, I think, and does the same thing, because the rook's covering that square. But I will go here. It might be here. There's two ways to check, but I don't see the knight getting knocked off here, and both squares are covered. I think this is either way. Actually works in this position because the rook is covering the G file, but I think you could do it the other way. Actually, you can't because of the rook taking the knight. What am I thinking? Finish the puzzle off with a checkmate. Yeah, sometimes I'm just got the right thought and try to talk myself out of it and then forget to see a piece. Finish this puzzle off with a checkmate, black to move. So which way are we going? The rook is on the open file, both open files. And his rook doesn't have me in a ladder mate, so that's a good thing. So let's see here. I think it's right here for the check, and it's not. Oh, God. And, of course, I didn't look, and that's a mistake. Man, missed that. I'm going to really be happy when I get my glasses. So, yeah, I totally missed it. I just didn't look. I had a ladder made right there, boom. Didn't miss it. Just totally missed it. There's a way to end with this with a checkmate. And, of course, there is the only defender is under attack, so queen takes the rook. And it doesn't matter how you block. back rank. Pawns are in line. It's great in the beginning. So I should have had 2 in a row and I blew it. I blundered, you can win a rook from me. Okay, I blundered, you can win a rook from me. Well, not yet. So I believe it's moving the rook to h3. My knight is covered right now. It's going to move up. And then the nice ability here is pawn attacks. King's going to move away and the rook is lost. And you protect the knight. Oh no, you can win my queen. Oh no, you can win my queen. Black to move. Black to move, you can win my queen. And obviously it's going to be a pin. The king and the queen are in line, so you look for that pin first. And the question would be, is the rook yeah, that's a dead pin right there. Okay. There's a way to end this with a checkmate. And ladder mate threat, but the rook's defending, but this is a ladder mate threat as well, because the rook is protecting a pawn here. And check here, and I won't miss this mate again. Coordinate your pieces so I can't stop your pawn from promoting. White to move. Coordinate your pieces so you can't stop coordinate your pieces so I can't stop your pawn from promoting. Well, the big issue would be the which pawn is it? Obviously it's by the king, and this one's expendable, so I believe you would force the issue here. Rook takes rook, or rook takes pawn, and you get that queen and a check. So probably take rook, and then pawn takes for the queen. There's no check. Black could probably, doesn't have a chance to get the other pawn either. You can play checkmate soon. Do you see how black to move? You can play checkmate soon. Do you see how black to move? I don't see anybody chatting tonight, so when they do, I will address that. Hope people come in and say hi. You can play checkmate soon. Do you see how? Got a queen in my back door here on the queen side, and is that going to be a safe? No checkmate available yet. And I would think that basically check, nothing to block, so king's going to move either to F2, I mean F1 or D1, and then with a check on E2, moving away, and then just moving up, whichever way he goes. So it's going to be interesting here how he goes. He's going to go this way, I believe. And then the mate's going to end up on C2, I believe. So we go here to E4 to start it out. Then to E2 with the check. He's going to move that way, and then the mate. Don't leave your game up to luck. There's only one good way forward, and boy, this is the ones that get me. That and the mid-game. That and the mid-game. Don't leave your game to luck. So we're going to be able to take a bishop here. If the rook takes rook, you take back, and really there's no way to stop this queen, this pawn promotion, because the rook's stuck in the corner and can't get out. And so all you do is block with the rook, and then the queen should promote to a G1, I believe, if I'm seeing it correctly. So we take, that's a good move right there. That is a solid move. That is a solid move. Did not see that move. So, rook's being threatened. No attack on the king, but I can take that rook, make the king come in, then I can check the rook and go take this pawn on the queen's side, and I believe I'm golden there. We'll see. So I believe it's here. We'll see. Okay. Check. There we go. Find a way to win material. Black to move. Find a way to win material. Black to move. Do I have any checks? And I do. Queen coming out, and this is going to be a unique position right here. I'm going to get a free bishop out of it right off the bat. So queen to A5, check, and then take the bishop. Blocks with the pawn. Now the knight's in trouble. Knight takes a piece. Take back. I was thinking, is there any other checks I could make, but there wasn't. Do you see a way to win the game? Do I see the way to win the game? JJ's gonna sack the knight. That's how I would play it. Sack the knight with a check. Rook steps up, and then the D file rook goes down to D1 for the mate. Now, he might not take it, so we'll see. But I think this is the play. Check. Yep, he does take it. And there's the mate. Marvin got like 5 levels on me today when he was at work. You know, there's a bar and grill here at South Beach. They work long days, boy, 12-hour days. They really put the effort in. Love the bar. I do not drink alcohol, but I love their food. Marvin's been a best friend for a long, long time. Had a amazing sandwich today. I had a burger wrap, actually. Very tasty. So, he gained some ground on me. I think he went from 1,600 to 2,100 is what he said. Yeah, 2,100 now was his last post. Find a way to win material, black to move. Find a way to win material, black to move. So I don't have any checks. But the nice thing is this knight, moving that bishop up was the wrong thing. I do see this in games because what's nice is knight can take the knight. If he wants to salvage his bishop, he got a bishop and queen in a line. He would take the bishop, but the knight can then take the bishop. My knight can go back and win a piece that way. So let's see how this plays out. Knight takes knight on d5, and he takes. And now I'm going to get a bishop and a knight out of this with the queen and the bishop on the same diagonal. Checkmate is coming. Do you see the way to win? Checkmate is coming. Do you see the way to win? I think this could be two ways, but one way the queen will take the knight, but this is kind of a nasty mate here. Real nasty mate. So you've got a black knight on b4, and you got that white bishop just sitting in the row, minding its own business, covering the white diagonal to b1. Knight can check the king. Now, if it goes to the d3 square, of course, the queen could take to salvage. But unabated, this is a mate right here because the bishop covers two white squares at the diagonal all the way to b1. So I believe this is it. And through silver 20. How far Marvin? Oh, Marvin's just rocking. Where's he at now? Oh, he went 5 of 20. He's on crystal 5 already. He was behind me last night. Got the 2,100 badge. Proud of him, man. He was at 1,600. He got a few badges in the last few days. I got to 2,400 last night. Just started doing these puzzles about 2 months ago, 6 or 7 weeks. And I was at 4,500. And so I've been doing them Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Good warm-up if I do get challenges tonight. I'm not sure if I'm going to get some. Wasn't able to do the Wizardry stream. I was a little bummed, but man, my eyes are important. I need to get that handled. And I had been putting it off and talking about it for a while. So I got that done today. Hopefully I can get that paid for and get that tomorrow. And get those glasses sent on the way. The interesting thing was the Wizardry stream. I decided not to do that Wizardry stream because it would have been during the appointment, would have been during that. And the cool thing about Wizardry, Variance Daphne, they added a new class last night to the game. Man, the game is just freaking great. If you haven't watched, come on in at 11 o'clock, check it out. And I am progressing well, level 40, on the ship now. So that is pretty fun, actually. It's a little tough. Early on that ship hold, I was just breezing through, and then all of a sudden, dang, they're throwing the kitchen sink creatures at me, man. It was tough, but new character. I tried for it, did not get the legendary last night, but I did get service came up about 3 o'clock in the morning for me on the Pacific side, and I got the Dwarven Ninja, and I heard a rumor that in Proving Grounds there was a Dwarven Ninja first ninja. I don't know about that because when you did have a full set party that you could take, but you could create your own characters. So dwarves weren't the primary samurai. You could use humans as well. So I don't know if that rumor is correct, but they do have a dwarven samurai, and I did get that. Uncommon and pretty cool looking. And I'll be running that up tomorrow. So I am at just finished 20 silver. And I am now on crystal as well. You have a chance to beat me. Can you find the checkmate? Is there a mate there? And to tell you the truth, you just want to go ahead and get the checks in. Because the pawn on G3 is extremely strong, covering the H2 and F2. So what Levy, Rosman, Gothic Chess, the legend. He sacks the rook. And then checks with the queen. The knight prevents queen being taken. And then comes down for the mate on H2. Ad break ends in 1 minute 37 seconds. You have a chance to beat me. Can you find the checkmate? Well, this is going to be a really interesting one. I think I can. Going to rely on diagonals. I mean, it's mate in one if you don't find it. So you have to find a check here. And I would go with the bishop first. Bishop taking the E6 pawn with the check, and then going downtown with the H8 square for the mate. And the rook tries to defend, but not in time. And that is the mate there. Do you see the checkmate idea? Okay, do you see the checkmate idea? There's a promoting pawn from, it's black to move, actually. Black to move. And black to move. Which way are we going? Oh, we are going up and not down. Well, that makes a lot of difference. That makes a lot of difference. Because there's only one square that puts a checkmate right off the bat, and need to cover that G4 and the G6 squares, as well as moving to the G5 square. The only way with the queen on the diagonal is moving to F5. And there you go. King's got nowhere to go. Queen's out in La La Land, and that is a winner chicken dinner. Win this game with a checkmate. Here we come again with the mate. Can we do it? And again, the same concept. Got a queen down here, but can't really check the black king. And sacrifice the rook again for the same concept. was a couple of puzzles ago. H1 check. By the way, H1 chess rocks. If you haven't seen his content, please do. And the queen to H4 for the check, and then it's going to follow up with H2 for the mate, with the knight in a power position right there. Defending the exit ways for the king in that position. This is the most important moment of the game. Find a way to checkmate me. Is there a mate coming? Is there a mate coming? So, got a few ways to do this. This is a possibility of losing black rook. Check, losing them both. Again, sacrifice the rook, but it's not a check. So what is a check? What is a check here? That's going to be an interesting play. Could go on the outside, but just moves the king into a tighter tuck behind the 3 pawns. I could miss this one. Could miss this one because this is kind of brutal right here. Where is that going to go? Yeah, the only way that I see it is we go from, would have went this way, but the queen can come back and take the knight. Can't do it here, so this is the first move, I think. It's going to move the king back to H1. We got another sacrifice coming, and that is the rook takes H2 with the check. And now the queen's in play, and the queen moves to H7. And the knight is the power piece because the exit squares for the king at G3 and G1 are blocked. So the queen takes the bishop, and that is your mate. Checkmate is waiting if you play carefully. Finally got into these puzzles where it's actually just checkmating the king. I haven't. With all these puzzles that I've done in the last 2 months, these are the first ones that where you just have to look for checkmate. And looking at my insights, I'm pretty good on this, on these mates here. So the bishop, it was covering the possible mate on G7 because that pawn is really powerful on the H6 square. So that cuts it off. The rook is on the back row challenging the queen on B8, and the bishop also covers the rook on B8. So where is the possible mate? And I would say it's short, but let's see. Yep, I definitely say it is queen to F7 for the check. And then it's sacrifice the queen for the win because the bishop can't do anything. So there's a check, rook takes queen, and rook takes rook for the finishing touches. Thank you all for watching tonight. Appreciate it. Hope you're enjoying this challenges and puzzles. No challenges tonight. No challenges whatsoever. So we'll continue. Oops, I blundered. Can you find a way to checkmate me? So there's a possible mate on the board. White position is down. And where are we looking at? Well, you don't want to go outside with the sack here, with the rook sack, because if you go outside on the F7 file, when the rook does come down from H6 to H8, king's got an exit square to E7, getting away. So you need to stay right where you are on the F7 with the rook. And the biggest thing here is make the king have nowhere to go. And with that powerful pawn on G6, this is the sack. Sacks the rook and then the check. Nothing can stop that rook. But if you did it the other way around, the king's going to get out on E7. Oh no, you can win material from me. Hopefully. Let's see what we can do. Got the knight out there. This is a issue. And you can't check the king. So this is going to be a little bit harder. Win material from me. Huh. Knight's free to move, so you can't. It's not the knight. Queen's in the diagonal, and there's no threat at this point. Also, I have to protect the pawn because the F3, F6 pawn, queen can take if I move that queen away first. So I believe it's the knight move. I may be wrong on this one. I may totally choke this one. Okay, knight moves up. Now you got power. Now where are you going to go? Well, the best way to get that queen where you want that queen to be would force it to move. And you've got the knight on the G2 square. It's got covered and the E2 square. So you got a bishop that's going to attack a knight right here. And you just take that queen. And you're covered on defense, so you should be all right. So far, so good. Puzzles with JJ today. Checking my chat, checking to make sure that we're still running on the multi-stream. Hopefully we are. Can't tell on my side from Twitch, which kind of is a bummer. Finish the puzzle off with checkmate. I love Twitch, by the way. Really do. Anybody that wants to come in, please follow, and you can chat immediately. I follow or chat on. Also, streaming on YouTube tonight. Finish this puzzle off with a checkmate, white to move. And this is going to be a nice one because it's kind of a double whammy. But is it a double whammy? Let's see here. Now my initial thought was E6 to E8. And there's two checks here. So you can't block the queen because you're still in check by the rook on E8. So that's my initial move, and I think I'm staying with it. So E6 to E8. Yeah, you could block here with the queen, taking the rook here or the queen here, but you cannot block this because it's double check. And there we go. One of your pawns could be set up for promotion. Do you see it? One of my pawns can be set up for promotion. Do I see it? So the problem is his pawn also can be set up there and move. It's black to move. So I believe it's queen takes queen and attack this pawn with the black bishop, bringing the black bishop back to F6 from H4. Maybe wrong. Nope. So, and now the threat is, how do we get that out of there? Got a promoting pawn. And the easiest way, the knight is attacking that pawn. You're a little worried about it, and there's a bishop behind it, and the king is in that diagonal. So pushing the pawn can't take, and the king has to move. So Crystal 1 is done tonight. Okay, oops, I blundered. Can you find a way to checkmate me? And that is going to be an interesting situation here. Let's see here. So you got the exit scores of the king, which the only exit, or you can block, of course, on a check. The only exit is the C2, and then if you go to A1, of course, the rook blocks at B1. So where can they not block? And killing that C2 exit square at the same time, and that is near the bishop and not the rook. So it is A4 to D1 for the mate. There's a way to end this with checkmate. Do I see it? That's the question. Okay, what do we got on the board? Knight can block, but the king is down. The king can move. So that is this is an interesting position because if I check, the king can move out. And I need to block with the mate, and I have nothing to move that. I have a white bishop, so that is a little bit different. But what's nice is I got a power pawn on F4, and that protects for an exit. So it's going to be a transitionary move for a check. Make the king honest, make him run up. Wouldn't block with the knight. He'll move to f2. So, b2 to b1 check. No, he did block with the knight. That's okay. He's going to lose them both. And nice thing with that bishop right on that diagonal, just putting a mate in right there at f1. Seemed like a lot of easier puzzles than the row score bonuses. Yeah, they've gone to end games. It was mid games for a long time. And it was gone to mating chances, I think. It's changed over to mating chances. It'll change back, we know that. My end games, I'm really strong in end games, and I believe you are too. And this has been mating chances, so seeing the board fully and making those bonuses. But I'm still down. You're already on 5. You like rocked it before I even got to eat lunch with you this afternoon. I was like, man, you like moved it. You were like, I am not letting this guy pass me. Okay, we got the crystal tier, and we'll keep going. This is the most important moment of the game. Find a way to checkmate me. Is there a mate? Is there a mate? And there is. The rook is pinned. The rook is pinned, but it doesn't matter because the queen's going to get a check. And no way to stop this one. Choo-choo train is running, so the queen taking the pawn at f2 for the check, and then the rook's just hanging. And there is a back rank mate. The queen comes in to try to save, and checkmate at f1, and the rook didn't even move because the rook was the stabilizing piece. Do you see a way to win the game? Can I win the game? And let's see what the queen and bishop on his side can do. Yeah, he can check me right here, but white bishop, so he can't really do anything. He's got the 2 rooks. And the best way to see this game, I would think, is laying down a check. Now, how do I want to do this? Do I want to sacrifice? I don't think that's the way to go yet. And that queen is out of it, but the rook can come in and lay the funky monkey on me. So let me look. Yeah, so the first move, I believe, is check, get it going. Open this up. Do with the rook. Now the question is, where do I want to go with this? Knight can't check. And the queen doesn't have the open f4 diagonal. So, can I get that queen in a fork? I can't at this point. Little tougher, little tougher. Can't take the rook. Gonna have to think about it. Rook is pinned. So the question would be is, can I get the check? So the rook is the catalyst. The rook is going to take the pawn at h3 for the sack. And then the killer move right here is f2 for the queen. And that knight, even though it hasn't really moved, stabilizing factor, and holds that f4 black square. And that is a mate. Excellent play. Let's see. Alrighty. If you play this right, you can win material. If I play it right, I can win material. Okay, it's a queen, 3 pawns, and a knight versus 3 pawns, a bishop, and a queen. And the bishop for white is usually a 3.5. It's got an open bishop too. If you play this right, you can win material. So there's no checks. Interesting, interesting, interesting. Play this right, I can win material. Queen takes pawn. That's a mate if I do that. So I can't do that. What do we got here? I haven't seen it yet. If you play this right, you can win material. Actually, I have seen it. Boy, here's the check right here. Queen's got to take it. So check, doesn't take, queen takes queen. Took me a while to see that one. I gotta admit, I did not see that at first. There's a way to end this with a checkmate. Okay. And it's kind of nasty, actually. That bishop is protecting white bishop, white to move. There's a way to end this with checkmate. The bishop, white bishop, is protecting the rook from coming in. Knight's got it, so it's going to be pretty much a mate on the other side in the next move or two. Not yet, but what's nice, though, the bishop has that black diagonal. And so bishop on b2, and there is move to h8, and that knight, white knight on g5 is power because it's protecting the f7 and the h7 squares, so this is the mate. Talking things through in JJ's Chess Spots and Palace tonight. Come on in if you want a challenge. And I'm playing puzzles in the meantime. Checkmate is coming. Do you see the way to win? That bishop's a problem. Bishop is the defender and only defender holding off the h7 and f7 squares. Of course, the f7 square is covered by the knight and the h7 square, but the queen can't move there because the bishop will take it. So the sacrifice is rook takes bishop. And now there's no chance for black. And we're at crystal 2. This puzzle has a fun idea. Can you spot it? Fun idea. Can I spot it? Let's see here. Is it that fun? Fun idea. This is the part that gets a little hairy. I do not think this is the move. I don't see it right now. I do not see it. Okay, you take the knight. This is going to be, I think this is the wrong move. Okay, and you have to take. Have to take as well. Huh. Didn't see that coming. Got through it, didn't see it. Checkmate is waiting if you play carefully. Again, where is the move here? Huh. What am I not seeing? Knight can't move there. Knight can't check. It's going to move there. Huh. I think I'm going to miss this one. Looks like my run is going south. Actually, I think I got it. Okay, knight to c1, check. Undiscovered check. And the pawn is really a powerful pawn here on the c4 because it covers that knight. Now you got the rook coming in, and there's nowhere to go, and it's mate in one. Put pressure on my king to capitalize on your advantage. White to move. Put pressure on the king to capitalize with my advantage. Currently with a knight advantage. Now, would it be, and I think it is, need an open file with my white rook, which, if I'm one step away, my queen's covering the G2 square for his power. He might attack the knight down here, but I would think that instead of going with the queen to G6, because there's still no threat, but if the rook's on an open file, the white rook's on an open file, there is a threat. So, I'm going to say rook to C7. There we go. And that was a smart move. Change the dynamics, so get a free rook out of it, trade up, and there's the move. Getting that open file, because then the queen could have came up and gone to G6, so with a mate once I checked. Find a way to end the game with a checkmate, white to move. Find a way to end the game with a checkmate. Find a way to end the game with a checkmate. There's nothing pinned. Problem is he's going to be able to move. Knight isn't functional at this point. But the rook coming in is. So there's no threat on the black rooks. No pawns are out. White to move, find a way to end with the game with a checkmate. But the problem is the escape square is the C8 square. And what do I do after that? That is my... All right, so that's the check. Now, do I check with the knight and he moves up? I check here, he just moves right back up. But if I check here, he moves up. Man, I do not know. I think it's a check here. Yes, I think it's a check here, and he's going to move back up. Knight's covered, so the pawn's power, the D5 pawn square, because it's covering the X, it's for the E6. So I believe I'm checkmate here. And then it's going to be check here and finish it off. Checkmate. There we go. Didn't see that at first. Saw the check, didn't know what I was going to do with it. Calculate correctly and you win my rook. Okay. Well, that's obvious. Rook is way in the south 40 on the queen's side, and there's a check coming with the rook H2 to H1, and the rook is lost. And back to the open file. Cover that pawn. Okay, level 3 crystal. How's Marvin doing? Is he at the bar playing? Or is he working? Somebody called 16 food dinners in, so he has to cook. Then we say Marvin's cooking. Marvin's doing really well. I got 2100 badge today. I got the 2400. Not sure where I'm at now. So on a crystal 3, can you find a way to win material? There is a check, and I only have one move. Interesting with the bishop there. Boy, everything's in the left corner. So white to move, bishop can take the queen, and the king takes the knight. That is the threat. And there we go. If I stepped into it, if I went to A3, I would have stepped into it, and bishop would have taken the queen. And that's why I went back. Okay, checkmate is coming. Do you see the way to win? Checkmate is coming. Do you see the way to win? Again, with that rook in the and the king in the victory formation for white, obviously the queen goes to F2, check. King has to move away. And queen takes the rook. But there is a checkmate coming, so I got to be real careful. So let's go here. And then we check. And this is going to be a nice one. Mate with the pawn. Oh, that was nice. I do have a mate with a pawn. I haven't had a mate with a king where the king moves out. I haven't done that yet. But I've done all the other ones in the regular games. I'm 280 plus. I might have got the 2500 badge. Okay, don't leave your game up to luck. There's only one good way forward. Don't leave your game up to luck. There is only one good way forward. And, of course, you can't go to G1 because you got queen and rook powered on the back row. But the queen and rook are on the back row. That's a good day. So you got some chances here. So with that bishop and queen locked up on that diagonal, you're going to go to F2 with a check, and then check again. Taking the pawn on F3. And let's see where everybody else. Thank you all for coming in today. Thank you for watching the multi-stream tonight on Twitch. We'll take challenges, but I'm on a roll on puzzles, so let's see if I can get the Crystal 5. You're in a critical position. Find a way to win a rook. I think, You already have the rook open. And the knight. So I think, well, let's see. Yeah. Queen takes rook. There's a check. And rook takes knight. Boy, I'm blasting through these as well here. Now I'm on 4. Marvin's rocking me right here. Hey, Minquette, how you doing? Nice to see you. Thanks for coming in tonight. Alrighty. Find the game ending idea. Marv's here, Maquette's here. Hopefully everybody's having a great night. Find the game ending idea. So white to move, game ending. The game ending idea. White to move. White king is in trouble. And this is a 2-mover. And the reason being is you're going to be able to cut that diagonal off on both sides after the king escapes from this check. So the B8 queen is going to move to A8 with a check, nothing to block. And then to protect this diagonal, and back here on the L, where the queen's going to cover, but also that diagonal. Think of a graph like this and this. And queen to A5 for the mate. Find a way to win material. Bishop coming down with a rook. It's going to have undiscovered check. On the next move, got to put some power on the board. What's going to happen? Find a way to win material. Find a way to win material. Well, your queen's on your back row for black, and you can't check. So the safest way is a rook takes bishop, of course, taking that undiscovered check away. So that would be the safest move. Now rook takes rook is up there, and you've got a queen check coming up. So win material to win the puzzle. Win material to win the puzzle. White to move. White to move. This is going to involve that bishop. So, to really win material, you take this rook, and it's just going to be an equal trade, and it's a rook, bishop, knight game. White's still looking okay. But that bishop, again, on the diagonal, is attacking that H6 pawn. So you check, going to move up. And it's okay to lose the bishop. You still have the knight. So go for a check right here. Take the rook. And if he takes back, you got now a rook knight to a rook or a knight. And 2 pawns with the chance to at least get one of them through. Okay, so calculate correctly, you'll win a bishop. I'll win a bishop. Black to move. Queen's attacking my queen. How do we want to do this? Might blow this. Might blow this. Queen's pinned. The queen is pinned, so there is a check. And I believe it's right there. And who cares about the bishop when you can get a queen? Now I get the bishop. And just got into Crystal 5 tonight. Thank you, Marv. Thank you. I am down 28.64,300 to 64,272. It's getting close, Marv. Getting close. Alrighty. So we'll continue with the puzzles. I'm going to try to see how far I can make this run. I don't know how far I can make this run. But I do believe I've got the 2,500 badge by now. You have a chance to beat me. Can you find the checkmate? Have a chance to beat. Can you find the checkmate? That's a little bit tough. Let's see here. That's a little bit harder. Do I want to sacrifice? Because the king would have to move there and then check. I got a feeling that that's it. Maybe wrong. But I think because that rook is pinned to the king, that the rook taking the bishop makes the king move to f1. You got two power pawns right now in the position there protecting g2 and e2. So the king has no escape. Queen has the diagonal to get a check in after the rook takes the bishop and the king takes the rook back. You got a check. What are you going to block with? Can't block with that f2 rook. That f2 rook is now vertical below the king. The only block is the other rook on the d file, which would go to d1. You take it, it's mate. That's what I think. So, sacrifice, and then a deep check at a1. Take the rook, and the game's over. Find a way to end the game with a checkmate. So there is a possible checkmate here. And, you know, I play the Scotch a lot. And every once in a while I get into this. And I think this is a really good chance. So I'm going to start off with the queen. I may be wrong, but I'm going to start off the queen check. The pawns are already out there. So it's pretty much out in the open. And the question is, can I contain that? Okay, we'll try it. Okay. Yeah, the question would be, where am I going to go? Easy. Sacrifice the knight pawn takes and queen checkmate. Because the bishop's here too, and can't take the bishop when you're in check. So use all your pieces, and this is a sacrifice. So the knight checks, gets taken, and the queen comes down with the now bishop unhindered on the white diagonal for the mate. I'm going to get up, stretch my legs. So far, so good tonight. Thank you for watching the puzzles. We'll take some challenges, but I'm kind of on a roll here. Try to get these puzzles. Okay. So let's try again. Can you find a way to win material? This is going to be an interesting one here. Can you find a way to win material? This probably might be this is a little tough. This might be the end of the streak. What do we want to do? I think it is the knight check on f6. And the reason I wouldn't go to e7 is the queen just takes it, moves out of the way, and if I wanted to trade with the queen, I also got this knight, and I cannot get a check with that bishop to get on that king. So my feeling is to open up this line because he'll take with the pawn. He's not going to take with the queen. So he takes with the pawn. This gives me a check. And now it's open because the queen and the rook is going to take that queen. And that's what I feel. You guys see it? So let's go with the check. There we go. We're going to go with another check right here. King moves back, but I got that rook on a line for that queen. Okay. Oops, I blundered. Can you find a way to checkmate me? There is a white to move. Wow. Dude's trying to rub it in on black. Double queens. Actually, I had somebody do that with 4 queens in a Swiss rated game. It's my highest, 2146, highest person I beat on chess.com. And I played him before to a 303 move game, and every time I played him, just kind of messing around. I could never get a 50 move rule or a perpetual, and games would go forever, and people wanted challenges, so they would just sit in chat watching me play this guy for 300 moves, and it was a queen pawn endgame. And so right at the last second, moved the pawn, reset the 50. So I played him in a Swiss tournament, and it was a 15-10, and I actually was doing okay. I did lose my rook to a knight early on, but I had a really great attack in the center, and I was watching my time, so I was trying to move quick, and all of a sudden I had him on the run, and I thought I had him. And I blundered my queen, and I'm like, oh, dude, it's over. And I would have resigned, but I know he messes around, and he moves. So he decided to promote 4 queens. My king was exactly at, I believe it was H5. So he was promoting his queens on the D, E, F, and G file. So I was just moving down the line here towards his king, and he had a rook. So he not only had his queens, 4 queens, but he had a rook. And a funny thing happened. He ran into time trouble doing that. He could have won easily. He could have checkmated me on the next move. But I decided not to resign because I knew this guy's MO. And sure enough, he had 1.4 seconds left. So now he's going to play real. So he checks me with the rook, and I'm down on the, I believe it was H7. And I could have went H6, but I went H8, and he went, oh, because it was mate the other way, he flagged. Now, oh, cool, you got insufficient material, 41 points down. Now, there was a pawn. You guys probably didn't hear any of it, but there was a pawn on H6. Actually, it was H2, I think. And I moved to H2, and then I moved to H1. And that's right, the pawn was on H6. He left my pawn there. It's not insufficient material, even though there's no chance I have to make that pawn promotion. I actually won that first round in a Swiss tournament against 2146. I think tonight I'm just going to finish puzzles. I just haven't had anybody in for the whole night. And I would play Maquette, but I think after the 3 losses of getting smoked, I think I will wait a couple of days and we'll do it next week. That's cool with you. But I'm on a roll with these puzzles. I don't want to ruin it, so I think I'm just going to finish it up. Do the puzzles tonight, call it a night. But I appreciate you wanting to play. And I'm not much of a challenge for 1,100 that's smoking me every game, right? So I do appreciate it. And they're good games, and you play very well. So I think I'm on a roll here. And then once I miss, I think I'm going to call it a night. Had an appointment today with the eye vision optometrist, and just like I suspected that I was having some double vision there. And so got the new prescription, and then it looks like tomorrow I'll get those glasses ordered, and within 2 weeks I'll have new glasses. So I'm pretty excited about that. So I'm really excited, and I hope good things happen. But I will play next week for sure. Absolutely. Welcome back, everybody. And if you didn't hear the end of that story, my king was on H2. He checked with the rook. He's got 4 queens. And he thought he would just move over and mate. And so instead of moving to H3, I moved to H1. And he has king over here. He couldn't get a check, and he flagged. And what's crazy about the flag was insufficient material, right? 41 points up. It's a draw. No. He left my F6. He left my H6 pawn. It's on YouTube. I've got it not only a live stream version of it, but I also have a YouTube version of it, a short and a YouTube video. And it doesn't happen very much. 41 points down in material. Come back, beat a 21-46. with a king and a pawn on the board, and he flags. Man, that was crazy. Crazy. So, okay, let's continue. Let's give me this. Oops, I blundered. Can you find a way to checkmate me? So, this reminded me of it because the guy's going queen versus queen. And I think yeah, I see it. Didn't see it. Now I do. So, I've noticed a couple like Fantasia on chess. When you got a king in the middle and you want to check, and there will be a block, of course, but you want to check. You want to make sure that you can attack this pawn, and you've got a ladder mate in one. So after that, so if you went here and did it, the queen pawn, and you just take the pawn, and it's a ladder mate, but it's not. So, man, I'm going to have to think about this. And then if I go this way, if I go this way, no, if he blocks, can't really block, he's got to move. If I go this way, he blocks this way, and I just take, and it's a mate. If I check this way and he goes, I can't check this way. He's got to take it. So this is the only move. Because if he blocks, I just take it because I got the rook there. Otherwise he moves and I take the pawn and it's a ladder mate. Hey. Checkmate is coming. Do you see the way to win? Checkmate is coming. Do you see the way to win? Nothing on his side, and I believe it's quick. So yeah, I'm not sure why he moved the rook there. Because taking F2, H2 from F2, I believe is the mate, because he got the bishop on that diagonal. Win material to win the puzzle. Win material to win the puzzle. Now, what would be... Okay. Can't really check. Can't take the knight. Queen bishop in the line with the check. That knight is going to be a problem. But then I bring the bishop after I go to the check on H1. Then I bring the bishop to H2. And he's got nowhere to go. And I got the rook out. So I think this is a multifaceted one. We'll see how we go. Queen can't go over here. Stop that. So we'll go queen takes pawn. Okay. We're going to block here. We're going to push here. This is the most important moment of the game. Find a way to checkmate me, white to move. Most important. important moment of the game. Most important moment of the game. Well, this could be the end of the run. So I'm going to check with the bishop. Then I'm going to check again. And then queen to h7. Find the right defensive path forward. Got to check. Find the right defensive path forward. You got to block with the rook. You can't move up and just take the bishop here. Free piece. You got an advantage. Got to hold it. And you're still in the game. Alrighty. There's a way to end this with checkmate. White to move. And way to end this with checkmate. He's got a back rank mate coming up in 1. So I got a check. So it's got to be a sack. So I think the sack is here. So, to break that pawn structure up, rook takes g7. Check. I got a powerful pawn. He can't move up, can't move back. He's got the queen on the row. And this one's coming in quick. So, rook takes pawn. Queen's blocked by his own pawn. So the rook is here. And again, that L shape with queen plus the diagonal in the middle. So prevent the king from escaping. And queen to g8. Getting a little tired. Getting a little tired tonight. I appreciate everybody that came in tonight and watched. Thank you. I think we'll try one more. Oh, I'm on 50. He spotted the solution. Let's go one more. Calculate correctly and you'll win a rook. Do I have a check? Calculate correctly and you'll win. Huh. Way to go down on this one. Let's see. I think it's here. I think it's here. Losing that queen, bishop, and there's a check for the win. We'll go to 8 and stop. You have a chance to beat me. Can you find the checkmate? Can I find the checkmate? Chance to win. And I believe with that strong bishop, the queen's open. Man, he's got a nice pawn bishop point. So I think this one is that weak f2 square. Okay. Where do we go from here? Where do I go from here? Queen moves up, check. Where am I not seeing this? Huh. I think I'm missing it. I think the pawn check in here is the big killer right here. I think that E pawn is the deadly force. To go to E4 to E3 check. Your pieces are well coordinated. Can you find a way to attack my king? Pieces are well coordinated. Can you find a way to attack my king? Queen's down here, threatening that bishop's threatening that knight. White bishop on my f7 pawn. I think you check. If you push the pawn, rook takes, queen takes, bishop takes. So I think it is queen to f3. That is nasty, nasty. All right. Oh, Marvin's playing now. He's 64,300. He's doing good. Anyway, I think I am tired. I think we'll see. I could continue the streak till I miss it, but playing pretty well right now. I do want to check something. Did I get the badge? Let's go out. Probably reset the whole thing and I'll miss the first puzzle next time I play on Monday, Wednesday, Thursday's puzzles and challenges. I would take a challenge from Maquette. I played him 3 days in a row. I got smoked 3 days in a row, or 2 days out of the 3. Nobody else came in to challenge. Been pretty light this summer. And I will play Maquette the next time I do the challenges. That'll be next Monday, I believe. Friday Night Blitz tomorrow, 7 o'clock. Cat does really well in that arena, so I hope to see him there. He's playing extremely well currently. Got Friday Night Blitz at 7. I come in at 6:30. I'll put the link up. It's a little different for people that haven't seen it before. I do the announce. I announce your games. I do not play. I actually announce your games and put all the effort into you guys, making you a star. Fair play policy, don't cheat. No reason to, it's unrated. Tuesday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday at 7 p.m. Unrated, a lot of fun. I do the play-by-play a little differently as well because I can't really talk about position while the games are up because everybody on Twitch can hear me and see me. So from that standpoint, but I do put some color into it and talk about what countries are playing, where you're from, if you've been a regular, if you're a diamond member, that sort of thing. And I try to make it fun for everybody that comes in and plays on those nights. Friday night is a blitz. Saturday night's a rapid. Sunday night is Sunday night freestyle chess 960. And Tuesday night is rotating. It'll be a rapid next week. So it should be a lot of fun. Also, we do have some title players that do play. We had one that came in on Tuesday night. And, you know, these guys would love to play it. So he has been watching my channel and also Wizardry. And I don't know him in real life. This is another a national master and title player. So hopefully he'll come in and it'll be fun for everybody. I believe it was level 8 in Crystal. And I'm going to look right now. Let's see. I am live streaming, so it should be showing me. Let's see what we got. I just made. That's crazy. I had a great run. What was I at 51, 52? I just got too tired. I just made the puzzle badge 25 and 2600. So 2600 now. When I first started in 2020, I got to 2100, just stopped playing puzzles. About just under 2 months ago, I started playing them because Marvin's been playing them, and he's way up there. And I was like at 4,500 and just caught him the other night. But he got the 2100 badge, man. Good for Marvin. That is great. But I just got not only the 2500 and the 2600 badge, and I'm on a roll right now. It'll probably change to a different type of game, but thank you, man. But yeah, 2600, and I had a good run, 51, I believe, in a row tonight. I will play more, but I'm getting tired. So, had my eye exam today. Good news. 2 weeks. Have new glasses. Really happy, and I got 2 pair, and I am really excited about that. We'll be taking challenges Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and playing puzzles. And I really enjoy these puzzles. I might even start taking the advanced chess lessons. But I got into a few, but I might do those over stream as well. And any challenges, and I would take one from McKett, but he's beat me 2 days in a row. And he's a solid player. So I think we'll wait until the next night, and I'll play him the next time he wants to challenge. Friday Night Blitz tomorrow night, 7 o'clock, 6:30. I will be logging in with the link. Hope to see you there, unrated, and it's a lot of fun. I announced the games for you, and it has some great action in there. And it's been successful since June of 2024. Started with For Love of the Game Tuesday and Friday Night Blitz. So another Friday Night Blitz coming up. We'll see you tomorrow night at 7. I'll be on at 6:30 with the link in chat on Twitch. And Wizardry back tomorrow morning at 11. Really wanted to go on today, but I did have that eye exam that I really needed to make. I've been putting it off for 6 months. And especially this morning because Wizardry Variants Daphne came out with a new class of character. And Samurai. And that's an original class from 1981 from Wizardry, Proving Grounds of the Mad Overlord, which I played on an Apple II Plus 44 years ago. So pretty excited. I went on last night after the maintenance and the new update, and didn't get the legendary, but I did get a Dwarven Samurai. So you'll see that in play tomorrow morning at 11 o'clock. Thank you all for watching. I hope you have a great one tonight or this morning, wherever you are. Had a good run in puzzles tonight. I think 51 in a row, I think. And I gained 200 in puzzle level. I'm now 2,600. I don't know what the highest rating I'm at. Let me look at that again. What did that say? 2653. Got a shot at 2,700. I just got tired. See you on the flip side. 11 o'clock for Wizardry. PST, that's 11 a.m. And 6:30 to get ready for the 7 o'clock Friday Night Blitz right here on JJ's Chess Pots or Palace. Thank you all for watching.